Holy shit, I just watched the first episode of Shirogane no Ishi Argevollen, and it was pretty cool. I didn't do any research on it, actually, which maybe I should have, but I'll save that for episode 2 then, because I'll probably watch another one, or however many it stays good for. Argevollen is a real robot show. And what I mean by that, for those who don't know, is that when it comes to mecha anime, they basically fall into two major categorizations: real robot and super robot. When mecha anime first began, most of them were super robot shows. They were shows aimed at kids where it was just some big robot with crazy special powers that fucking wrecks shit. And then all of that changed with Mobile Suit Gundam, which was a show that tried to paint its robots more as military devices. So shows that go for that route are real robot, shows that go the other route are super robot. This is a very real robot show. In the beginning, the mechs are just these big, clunky military machines. There's a lot of them. They seem to be only somewhat effective, but then, of course, at the end of the episode, then they have, like, the new prototype, or whatever it is, the Argevollen, which is a much faster, sleeker mech design. But just because it's a prototype doesn't mean it has superpowers. The main thing about it so far seems to just be that it can move well, and it has better field of vision. Whereas the original mechs are more tank-like in that they have just tiny little monitors to see what's going on. They move very slow. There's a lot of lag between your input and the movement of the robot, whereas the prototype can move exactly as you want it to, and it has a great field of vision. So it's just a better version of the machine. At least so far. The show has a lot of that, like, this is real war, don't treat this like a game thing, where the main character is like this hot-blooded young kid who wants to, you know, be a hero, he wants to go into battle, and everyone else is like, yo, chill, this is like a complex political arrangement that regarding our status in the battle. The team that we're following, their leader claims that they're fighting a liberation war. They're fighting this other country because they want to take down their government and liberate their people, but then it's suggested that it's actually more complicated than that, and we don't really know the full story, but there's definitely grounds for an interesting political backdrop to this story, grounds for pretty good mecha combat. So far, I wouldn't say the battles have been super entertaining, just because the whole point was that the robots were super slow. And once he gets the Argevollen, then it's presented awesomely because he can't really control it well because it controls so differently from the robots he's used to. So even though he does these quick movements, he then will overstep, fall over, basically stumbles his way through beating the enemy robots, which is amazing because it shows just how much better the prototype is, that even though he's piloting it horribly, he still wrecks the opponent because the mech is just that much better. Thought that was really cool. Pretty great first episode. Looking forward to see what it might have in store for us coming next week and from then on. So yeah, recommend it.